Hello, friends. Delivering an effective presentation is very, very important nowadays for everybody, be it a student, a teacher, a researcher, an administrator, or even a policymaker, because it's the time of information technology, which provides us a lot of opportunities to interact with your audience. The audience could be your class, audience could be your peers, audience could be even your customers. Even for a businessman, it becomes very important to connect with his or her audience. And this becomes much more important in today's world when COVID is there. Because of this COVID, many activities have become online, and because of this it becomes rather difficult for you to hold the attention of your audience, because your audience is not sitting in front of you. They may hide their face. So if you want to capture their attention, it becomes very important that your presentation should be very, very effective, so that even if a person sitting in the comfort of his or her house or home, he may not become bored, rather he would love to listen to you. So to start with, whenever we go for a public presentation, public talk, a stage fright is there, and this stage fright is there in everybody. Nobody can say that, okay, I'm not afraid of speaking to a large audience. Everybody is afraid. Everybody has a fright in his or her mind. Because whenever it is public speaking, you have to be nervous, and you must be nervous. This is not bad. If only thing is that if this nervousness or this stage fright, it becomes out of control, then it can paralyze you as a speaker. Paralyze means you won't be able to speak a word or two. So the only thing is, nervousness is there, it is there. This is a natural phenomenon. But you have to control it. And how to control it? Because it needs a large practice. And I should say, with experience, the extent of this nervousness goes on decreasing. So when if you are a new beginner, this nervousness is much more than an experienced person. So for a beginner, it is very important that before public speaking, he or she must do some rehearsal, some practice, and it will be good if his or her audience is very small, because then it is easier. If your audience is small, it is very easy for you to control your nervousness. And then another tip for this avoiding stage fright is to speak slowly. Don't speak at a very high speed. And this speed, ideal speed should be 100 words per minute, because when you speak slowly, you have control over your nerves, and the extent of nervousness will decrease. Then, as I said, rehearsal is a must. So before you go for actual public speaking, you must rehearse your talk before a colleague, or if you don't have a colleague with you, better you rehearse in before a tape recorder. You record your speech, and then later on you can listen, and then you can point out, you can identify the weak points, and then try to strengthen them. And if you have a colleague sitting in front of you, just try to rehearse before him and ask him not to say that, okay, everything is good, good, good. Ask him, better he should be a critic, so as to tell you that what are the weak points, what are distracting mannerism which you showed during your presentation. Then some more tips for a nervous beginner. So first I should say, slow your speed, because when you speak slowly, you have control over your nerves. Your nerves will be calm. If you try to speak at a very high speed, then you won't be able to control your nerves, or you will become more nervous. Then try to make your mind clear. Because when you start speaking, you have to keep this in your mind, that you are the person who knows maximum about the topic, who knows best about the topic, because you have prepared that topic. Audience has not prepared the topic. So you have to keep that I am the best, I am going to speak before them, I have prepared my topic well. So no issues. Then you have to focus on your presentation. In your mind it should be, okay, this is my topic, this is I'm going to speak. Somebody comes, goes out of the room, sits or stands, so that should not divert your attention, because you are focused on your presentation and you must focus on your presentation. And then you have to concentrate what you want to achieve, because when you speak, when you give a talk, you may be a student, so you have to speak before a group of teachers, maybe group of your own students in the class. You have to bag the marks, so that is your achievement, that is your objective. If you are a teacher, then you have a class, you have to impress the students, you have to make the students understand the things, so that is your objective. If you are appearing for an interview for a job, and you're asked to give a presentation of 5 minutes, so that is your objective, that I have to impress within these 5 minutes to the audience, to your peers who are there to select you for that particular position. So your objective should always be concentrated in your mind. And rehearsal, again I say that must rehearse preferably in front of your colleagues. Do your homework well, because it's not that, okay, you got the PowerPoint presentation prepared, and now, okay, then PowerPoint is with me, I will speak. No, just concentrate on your PowerPoint presentation, concentrate on each and every slide, what you are going to say about this particular slide, what is the outcome of this slide, how to summarize this. This is how you prepare well. This is what is called as homework. Then you have to ensure that you have thoroughly prepared the presentation. It should not be half baked, because if you have prepared your presentation thoroughly with your own hands, you have confidence that yes, I can speak about it. Then when you start your presentation, you must memorize, you must cram, I think, first 2-3 minutes of the speech, because initially you have to give a good impression. So a good start means your best speech or talk or presentation. So it is always better that you memorize first 2 to 3 sentences. That is very important. Write those 2-3 sentences, try to cram those, and then start speaking well. That will give that your, at least your first impression will be good. And first impression is always last impression. Then spend a few moments before speech, because when you are there on the stage, people are settling down, and don't immediately start with your presentation. Just look at back and see, okay, audience, they are responding you. Just look at the audience, give a brief smile also, so that way you will be calming yourself, your nervousness will decrease. Then how to begin speaking? Now, first thing, as I said, you have to memorize 2-3 lines, but those 2-3 lines should not be very important information. That should not be crucial information, because when you start your first 2-3 sentences, people, they are not taking interest, because they are just settling in, they are just tuning in, so they won't be much interested what you are saying in the beginning. So it is always important that whatever crucial information you have to say, don't say it in the beginning. And after saying 1 or 2 couple of sentences, you can ask, okay, can you hear me please? Look at the back, and people will say yes. So just doing that, you get a confidence, because when people respond to you, you get a confidence, okay, and then you can restart your presentation. A good speaker is said to be the person who always looks at the audience, because you are giving a talk to the audience, not to the screen or blackboard or to the roof or to the back benches. So you must not look at the bench, at the ground, or at the roof or blackboard or screen, because your eye contact with the audience is very, very important, and your head head should be held high. It is not just like a timid attitude or too much of arrogancy. You can see the picture. Hold your head. Speak to the people at the back of the room. Then, because when you speak to the people at the back of the room, the people sitting in the front rows, they will automatically listening to you. So it is always better to look at the back, to look at the people sitting at the back, sitting in the middle, not always looking at the people sitting in the front rows. And then you must smile off and on. This is very important that this is a type of face gesture. You should have a slightly smiling face that gives a good impression, and people they get attracted to you. Then do not read the slides. As I said, if you and you will read the slide only if you have prepared, one bullet means one paragraph. That is not the bullet. And remember, as I said in my previous presentation, that bullet doesn't mean that you put a bullet mark over there and it becomes a bullet, otherwise it's a whole paragraph. No. Even it should not be a single sentence, it should be a phrase. So if you write whole of the paragraph or if you write full sentence, naturally you will simply read the sentence. But if you have a phrase, you will try to make your own sentence, and that will give a good impression. Then use simple sentences, simple terms, not very complex sentence, complex words, terms, which many people might not have heard. So they lose interest in your talk. So that is why I say that you must avoid highly specialized vocabulary, because when you use very difficult or specialized words which the people have not heard, so they will lose interest. And also you should not use unfamiliar abbreviations. Many people I have seen that they are in the habit of putting the abbreviations and speaking abbreviations instead of speaking the whole word. So people remain thinking, what is this abbreviation? So because they are tuned for thinking your abbreviation about your abbreviation, so they will lose interest in your talk, and they will be deflected from your talk rather. So it is always good to be an informal first person style. Don't be formal in speaking. Be informal. First person style is you are the first person, you are speaking to the audience. So that is most effective one. Then the qualities of a good speech, I should say, is that it should not be a speech. It should not be a formal speech. It should be a talk. So there is a difference between talk and speech. Speech means a formal talk. Talk simple means just talking to the audience. So if you talk to the audience, people will respond to you. If it is a formal type of speech, then they lose interest. So talk means simple sentences, short sentences, simple style. And generally they say that good sentence should have only two verbs. So if you have a long sentence, that becomes formal. So very small sentences as we talk at our homes, this is just you have to talk to the audience. Then while talking, make gestures. This is very important. Don't stand still. Gestures are of two types. One is gestures on your face. Second, gestures of your hands. So always say, okay, see this, this is going to happen like this. These are hand gestures. This is very important to attract the audience, and moreover to keep the audience awake. Because if you don't do this, if you stand still and go on speaking, naturally the audience they will feel bored, and might be that they may sleep. So similarly, facial gesture. Whenever you have to stress upon a particular point, your face gesture should be there. Your eyebrows should rise up and down. Your eyes, movement of your eyes, that is again very important. So all these things, these are just natural things in our body. Whenever we try to emphasize a point in our homes also, when you're talking to your near and dear ones, your hands automatically they make some gestures. But when you are in a public speech, then you try to remain calm, but that is not good. You should always use your facial and hand gestures. Stick to time. This is very important, because if you are asked to finish in 5 minutes, you must finish in 4 minutes. If you are asked to finish in 15 minutes, you must finish in 14 minutes. That gives a very good impression, because if you don't do that, then the chairperson, maybe he may stop you. Okay, please wind up. When he says please wind up, that gives a very bad impression to everybody, and you also get confused, which how should I stop immediately, how to cut short the things. So that means your presentation becomes disastrous. And at the same time, if you go on speaking, you are given 15 minutes, you have already spent 20 minutes, and you are still to use 5 more minutes, then audience, they lose interest in your talk. Then they wait that when you will finish. So always plan your presentation at as per the allotted time. And many a times it happens that if you are given 15 minutes and there on the spot you are asked to finish in 10 minutes, then you have to be prepared for this, that okay, if this 15-minute talk is to be finished in 10 minutes, how to adjust it, where I can cut short. So you must be prepared for that also, because this happens generally in most of the seminars, symposia. Speaking skills. There are some bad manners which you should never try to practice during your talk. First bad manner is you are giving a talk without taking care to make it easily understandable. Whatever you have, memorized or crammed, you go on speaking like that. So you must, first of all, you must look pleasantly confident. This okay, that confidence is there on your face, number one, and how confidently you speak. So your face impression and your speech, both combinedly, they give an impression to the audience that okay, the guy is very confident when he is speaking. And always when you're speaking, you should show your eagerness, that okay, I want to show this, I want to say that this is wrong, this is right, we should never do that. So again, that is your tone of your speech, pitch of your voice. It should go up down, depending upon the emphasis, where you want to emphasize the things. So if you want to emphasize the thing, your voice pitch should go up. So that gives an impression that yes, you're confident. So you should never be antagonistic, you should never be timid, but at the same time you should never show a superior attitude. Your attitude, your body language should not be like that. People may feel that you seem to be very having superior attitude, that okay, yes, I know. Because three things are there, as I said: your eagerness, politeness also. Eagerness combined with politeness, how politely you speak. And that politeness, part of politeness is your smiling face, a little bit smiling face. So that if your face is not smiling, it is too serious face, people think that you have you are going to show very superior attitude. So very, very important that you are speaking to the people, maybe 50, maybe 100 people are there. They have their value of their own time. They have given you that time of 15, 20, 30 minutes to listen to you, and you must be thankful to them. And thankful means you must be polite, you must be eager, and at the same time you must be confident enough to explain the things to them, so that at the end, when they when you finish the talk, the audience must feel that okay, if I spent 20 minutes, yes, these 20 minutes were fruitful for me, I didn't waste my time. Another bad manners, sign of bad mannerism is many a times people put their hands in the pockets. So that because if you put your hands in the pocket, so that means you won't be making any hand gestures. So the value of your speech, that decreases. Sometimes people fold their arms like this while speaking. This again shows an arrogant, nature, a superior attitude. So you simply stand and try to make hand gestures wherever you need it, but never put your hands in your pocket, never fold your arms, and do not smile if you have spoken wrongly. Sometimes interaction is there. People ask you some question, you are not able, or you have replied it wrongly. Then somebody says, no, you have. It's not like this. It's like that. Then many a times, particularly the students, PG students, then they start smiling. One thing is, on one hand, they have not answered it correctly, they have not spoken well, and then they start smiling. So never smile during your presentation. So smile means it's not. There should be, as I said, your face should be smiling, but you must not smile. There's difference between your face smiling and you smiling. When you smile, you're showing your teeth. So don't show your teeth. Simply, your face should have a smiling look. When you present the slides, again I say many times, particularly postgraduate students, they simply write the things. Even many teachers I have seen, they simply write the things, copy the things and paste on the slides. Then during presentation, they simply go on reading. Yes, they will read it because they have made complete sentences, complete paragraphs. So they don't have an opportunity to make their own sentences. So they don't have any alternative but to simply read the things. So this is a cardinal sin. Don't do this sin. So make sure that always, because as I said, you have to talk to the audience. So when you have to talk to the audience, your slides are only giving you some bullets, some phrases. You have to explain of your own. You have to make your own sentences. And always when you're standing before the audience, never try to block the view of the screen or blackboard. Generally a person or the speaker, he forgets that he is standing in front of blackboard, he is standing in front of screen, and audience has to say, please go to the side. So that is again a sign of bad mannerism. So don't block audience view, stand on one side. Then, in order to highlight the thing, sometimes you can use a stick or a laser beam, but do not you use it, but do not misuse it, because many a times you have stick in your hand. Sometimes you do like this, sometimes. So that again, it is bad mannerism because it distracts the audience attention from your talk. You have a laser beam in your hand. So better you keep laser beam over the table, and when you actually require it, use it. Otherwise, keep it over there. Then what happens that sometimes that laser that starts moving over there, and people start looking over there, and they lose interest in your talk. Then do not rush through the slideshow. I have seen many people, they just skipping the slide. This is a map of this is map of Fala, this is the diagram of this. No. You must concentrate on a particular slide. You must spend some time, maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes for the images, depending upon that importance of the slide. But at least 30 seconds must be spent on a particular slide. And not too much of time, but if your slide demands that you have to spend more than 2 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes on a particular slide, no harm in that. But don't rush through the slide, because when you rush through the slideshow, then people again, they lose interest. So don't make the first presentation to your audience. As I said, first you must rehearse, maybe in front of a mirror, maybe in front of very close friend or a few friends with you, and then you should go to your actual presentation or to the audience. Then, as far as dress is concerned, whenever you deliver the talk, your dress should be smart enough, but it should not be showy. For example, if I say, yes, you are wearing jeans, good, but like nowadays, the teenagers, they have the jeans which are torn at some, that is sort of fashion, that becomes showy. So jeans are good, but torn jeans, they are not good. So similarly, a t-shirt is good, but t-shirt of very bright color, say dark parrot color, dark red color. So that is not good. That becomes showy. Then people, their attention is diverted towards your dress, and then they start making the comment. See how his trouser is. See how is how fast the color of his or her t-shirt is. So smart dress, but not showy dress. Then, as I said, change the tone. It should not be a monotone. You have to emphasize the point. Your pitch should go up. Then again, you can come back. So, always in your voice should be packed with enthusiasm and energy. This is very important, because if your voice, if your talk is packed with enthusiasm and energy, people will never sleep, people will never lose interest, rather, they will be impressed by your talk. So, you must remember that this oral presentation is always an opportunity in your life to show your talent. It should not be like for a teacher that, okay, I have to take a class, I have to give a presentation. It doesn't matter how I give, students are there. But no, these are the students who are going to remember you for years together, maybe 10 years, 20 years. These are the students who may be impressed by you, by your personality, and they may copy you, and later in their life they say, okay, I copied that person, he was my teacher, he was my best teacher. Similarly for the students, similarly for say a PG student giving a seminar, now his immediate goal is that, okay, I have to get 70-80 marks, this is my goal. But no, in your audience there could be some very senior teachers, maybe head of the department. If he gets impressed by you, maybe tomorrow he is there in the interview, he may sport, he is a very intelligent person, he makes very good presentation. So this is an opportunity to show your talent in your life, so try to grab it. So many things cannot be said through writing, but through your presentation you can say many things. So what I say, that whenever you get an opportunity to speak, try to grab it, because you have to create your image in the audience, because the audience or the stalwarts in the audience, they may spot you for a better academic career or a job career over there. So this is an always an opportunity. So the bigger the audience, it should be good for you. So never get worried that it's such a big audience, how can I speak over there, then you do this. Must be fully prepared for that, and you should be thankful to the Almighty that you got an opportunity to speak before the audience, to speak before your peers. Coming to my own experience, when I delivered my first seminar, it was credit seminar in master's degree program. So I was very much frightened. Rather, I was frightened more than anybody else, because I used to be a reserved person. I was not an open type of person. So it was but natural that my fright was much more than others. But believe me, I had prepared my presentation well. I have worked very hard. I have grasped each and every slide. Even the summary of each and every slide I had written with my hands, and then tried to read again and again. So that it benefited me. When I started speaking, I forgot that where I am, and it was a 100 plus people, including all professors of my department. And later on, when I finished, many teachers, they came to me, they appreciated me. And regarding dress, I remember still that I had just 3 dresses with me, and out of the 3 I chose the best one, which was very dear to me, because I thought I am going to give a seminar, a presentation. So I chose best dress. And at the end of seminar, as I said, I was appreciated by many teachers, so that gave me a confidence. Then I never looked back until today. But till today, I should say, after 30 plus years of experience, whenever I have to give a talk, I am frightened. But not frightened in that sense when I was at that stage. That fright has now come, but still I feel that fright is must, because if you are frightened, you will try to work hard, you will prepare your presentation well. And I'm never overconfident till this date. If I have to go to a class, if I have to speak before an audience, I prepare, I spend much more time, and then when I'm confident, yes, okay, now I'm this presentation is in my control, then I go for presentation. And what happens that every time I present, my confidence level, my enthusiasm, it increases. I feel a new enthusiasm, I feel new energy in me. So, in the end, I must say that don't consider any type of presentation a burden, whether it is interview, whether it is credit seminar, whether it is your class, whether you're presenting before an your group of farmers, group of other audience, a common man. So you must grab this opportunity. That's I got an opportunity. I must show my talent. I must impress the audience, and you can do it, because I believe that nothing is impossible on this earth. You can achieve what you aspire. So thank you very